Here's the easiest way to get rich in Arena Breakout. Getting rich in Arena Breakout is one of the most frustrating things ever because you have to constantly deal with losers, campers, and there's a lot. But today I'll be teaching you the easiest way to get rich in Arena Breakout, which is rich abusing. And if it's been 7 whole seasons and you are still stuck at 5 million, 10 or 15, let me be honest, you need this. So make sure to watch the video till the end because I'll be giving away the exact same ways which helped me to get up to 330 something million storage value. And without further ado, let's get into the video. Alright, so firstly, let's say what is rich abusing. I don't know if I'm the one who came up with this term or other people was using it before me, but rich abusing is basically using expensive stuff to get richer. The same way people use in real life. They get rich, they spend their money to get richer. So you see, it's not something extraordinary, it's just the system. But how to apply this system in Arena Breakout? Well, I'm just about to show you. So I designed a chart for rich abusing which goes like this. The higher the risk, the easier rich abusing would be, and the lower the risk, the harder it would be. And at the end, it comes to the point of no longer being rich abusing and just basically playing the game. So let me explain. Imagine you're going in a match of Armory Lockdown, Northridge, Valley, Farm, anything not forbidden, only lockdowns, and you're using a thermal with H4 and a lot of M9s, A1s, you're stacked. And when you get on the match, it's super easy for you to get kills, cause you have all the advantages in the game. You see them first, you're T6, your bullets are decent, you see, it's easy to get kills, but if you lose, you won't just lose 300 or 400, you'll lose at least 1.5 million. And it hurts bad. But if you were to go with a heavy T6 instead with a not much modded MK14 compared to the thermal, it's a bit harder to play the game, because you're heavy and your vision is partially blocked. It's a bit harder, but if you lose, you just lose 300k, and again, it's not much compared to 1.5 million. And here goes the chart. I guess now you got it. The less money you put in, you would be here, and if you play with thermals, you would go up to here. And now, speaking of thermals, I want to give away 20 thermals next season. I wanted to do this a long time ago when I was only 20k, but well, things happened and I couldn't do it. But I'm doing it now. So yeah, 20 thermals for 20 of you guys, and I'll be selecting the winners from my Discord members, so if you're not joined on my Discord yet, make sure to join it. We give away battle passes, elite memberships, cases, and a lot more. I try to create a little cool friend group of subscribers in the Discord, and I even sometimes talk about my daily stuff that I'm going through in my 762 Talks channel. But yeah, if you just want a thermal, just join. Alright, now that's enough talking, let's get back to the rich abusing. So there's 2 things that I have to talk about. Number 1, loadouts, and number 2, game plans. First, I'll give you the loadout, and then my preferred game plan for that loadout. We'll start from here on the chart, cause this is the cheapest way of rich abusing, and if you're already poor, you can't afford thermals, so we'll start from here. So there's 2 styles of rich abusing, number 1 aggressive and number 2 passive. The aggressive style of rich abusing is based on using expensive guns, expensive bullets, and basically no armor. And the passive style is when you put more than half of your budget on the armor, and each of these styles have their own advantages. When you're playing aggressive, you're light, you can easily move around the map, your opponent's armor usually doesn't matter, but on the other hand, if you're playing passive, you can tank more shots. In-game, you don't die easily, you don't get sniped usually, and so on. And when you're playing with any of those, you have to play in a specific way unless you would lose. So we'll start with the aggressive. I always prefer 762s, well, not obviously because my name is 762, but because they're stronger, you have much more chance to live, and they're just better. The MK14 is the best option in my opinion. You just buy it for 150k, if not less, you get a few bullets, and you're good to go. And about the game plan, here's the thing, unlike the name of this playstyle, the aggressive, you have to camp the whole game. Okay, I'm not telling you to camp, but I am. Let me fix it. Let's go through it logically. You don't have armor, right? Or at least a good one. And you're gonna get 2-tapped or 3-tapped at most. So you can't fight much, so when you get in the game, start looting around, get yourself busy doing nothing. And when you feel most of the teams have died, that's your time to shine. In most of the maps where you hear extraction activates is the best time to start abusing, and in this way, since you have good bullets and a pretty strong weapon, you can easily handle the last guy. Since he had a lot of fights, his armor is probably damaged and they're just tired, and that's why you always have to carry a few GHOs for the last team. This style of rich abusing is arguably the nastiest one in my opinion. It's just not nice. It's unfair, but again, you just want to get rich, so no one cares. A man who fears pain more than failure will taste both. And And there's also another way of doing this type of reship using, which I'm pretty sure you already know. The Chinese player, the FAL, flashlight, safety helmet, M61s, yeah, you already know. In this way, instead of waiting the whole game, you actually have to be the fastest and push the closest players, get them as fast as you can, and take their stuff and extract. Or just wipe the whole lobby if you're Chinese. But I don't suggest this one since this is the hardest way of reship using and it requires a lot of skills, which if you're poor, you clearly lack. So again, get a good gun, get good bullets, camp the whole game and get the last team. Easy money. And here are some of the other guns which you can do the aggressive reship using with. Now it's time for the passive reship using. And by the way, we're still here reship using with a budget of 200 or 250k. So this is the setup for the cheapest way of passive reship using. And the game plan is pretty simple, you know, since you have a T5, you don't have to worry that much about dying or getting 2-tapped because again, you're playing lockdown and the chance of facing players with using T5 bullets is pretty low. So the game plan is try to engage the mid-game fights. Let's say you spawned at gas station. If you're trying to reship use, instead of pushing radar directly, stay low and start looting gas station. And now, if you're using the MK, make sure to have a suppressor, cause damn you don't want those snipers to hold every angle of gas station. So after you're done looting, look for gunshots and as soon as you heard one, go for it. Don't waste any time, don't say nah, let them kill each other, I'll get the loot, cause there's a lot of other people waiting to do that. So engage mid-game, get the loot, and extract. If there's other squads fighting somewhere else, that's not your business. Let them be. If you have enough loot, stop being greedy. Since you're heavy, run around is a bit harder for you than other people. And imagine there are other people doing the aggressive reship using. They are craving to see you fight the other squads with that juicy loot. So you obviously don't want to take that long to face them. So again, engage mid-game, get the loots, and extract. If it gets to the last minutes, the aggressive reship users have a massive advantage on you. They're quick, they have better bullets. They will just get you. So do as I said, and you shall get rich. Now let's get a bit higher on the chart, maybe around here, with a budget of 400 up to 500k. Now here's the thing, you're putting a lot of money, especially if you have like 10 million storage value, so if you're alone, don't do this. You don't want to lose 500k alone when you're trying to get some money. Now at this level, there's actually no aggressive style and it's all passive. Cause playing aggressive with 500k loot on you is not the way to get rich. So we only got the passive style. Now here's a setup I prefer and I use this a lot. I could easily say more than half of my storage was acquired with this style. The most outcome, the easiest way. And the game plan, do as you want. Whatever you do, don't wait until the last 10 minutes. The heavier you are, the more unfair your fight with the aggressive reship users would be. And when you're using this loadout, you're the heaviest thing on earth. You even make a dent on the map. When you're T6, you can confidently fight the first squad which is the closest to your spawn. Then get another 1 or 2 mid-game fights which you might probably face the T5 guy that we talked about. Then you'll probably have around 500k, which is decent, but if you wait for the last guy, you might taste the wrath of M62s. And to be honest, 100k really doesn't matter when you have 500. So once again, this is the easiest way to get rich. The risk is a bit higher, but I say it's worth it. So try it. And for the gun selection, well, you know, I'll always be glazing the MK14. But if you like other guns, just play with them, cause you're T6 again and killing you is not a simple task. So get any decent gun and you'd be good to go. And finally, let's get to the last level of reship using, the thermal. The riskiest, most of the times with no outcome, although killing people is so easy with the thermal, but constantly using thermals will not get you richer. Cause let's say you at least make 400k a match, and you play 3 games, now if you lose the 4th, you would be minus 100k. Or I'm just terrible at math, I don't know. But you would lose, and the only condition which you might make a profit is to play in a full squad of thermals. In that case, you're 90% sure even if you die, you would get your thermal back, and so losing 400k and getting 800 profit, you know, I'd do it. And the game plan is pretty simple. You're a full team of thermals, get yourself to the middle of the map, look around for people, and get them. You obviously don't want me to break down how to get player with thermal, right? And here goes, the game plan. And that was it for today's video, thanks for watching it till the end. If this video helped you, make sure to like it and subscribe, and as always, love you all, see you in a bit.